It's 106 KMEL, your girl Shay Diddy here, DJ Black Marc, and we got the legend in the building. Blessed to have J.Prince, the one and only.
Oh, yeah. How y'all doing?
Doing
Good,
wonderful.
brother.
Now, welcome back to the Bay, first of all.
Hey, it's a privilege and an honor to be here.
And what's crazy to me is that you just mentioned that you got a lot of family out here in the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Bay, me and the Bay go way back. You know what I mean? The Bay was very instrumental in me becoming successful the way I became, because they could identify with our movement when others couldn't.
Rap a lot.
Yeah, so, a lot of history.
Yeah, that goes back to the early days of hip-hop in the Bay when you had, like, the JT the Bigger Figures and all of them coming up trying to do it on their own.
Yuck Mouth, Seagram, them was artists that I had my hand on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so the whole Too Short era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was around. I witnessed all of it.
Are you still connected with them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I saw Short the other day. I had an interview out there in L.A. with him, so we had an opportunity to chop it up and reminisce.
I wonder what it was like to kick it with y'all, like, back in the early 90s when, like, everything was really popping. There was so much going on. I know that you don't drink or smoke still, correct?
Well, I sample a little red wine.
partakes.
now.
He dabbles.
That's different.
I'm still a square, though.
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah.
a square.
Was that a conscious choice that you made, that you just didn't want to, like, affect any decisions you make or stay on track on stay focused?
Yeah, that was definitely a conscious decision I got in a lot of fights because
Really?
I wouldn't follow, you know what I mean, smoke or drink with a lot of homies or whatnot, but I stood my ground.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I, just decided. I was listening to Dr. Red Duke, and he said, red wine good for your heart. So I said, what the hell?
Let me try on that one. I was gonna say, because a lot of kids do fall to the peer pressure. Like, I smoked weed in high school, and it was peer pressure.
Right.
But graduated and never touched it again.
Oh,
Well, I hit
graduated to what?
Yeah, I hit a joint in the fourth grade.
Fourth
fourth
grade.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was done, though. Yeah.
It wasn't a
I
good
was done.
experience?
Well, it didn't even feel like anything. I done like Clinton did, and just inhale and exhale. Or maybe I didn't inhale. I just puffed and puffed out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're known as like a big mogul in this industry. How do you stay so grounded and how you stay so invested into the culture and what's going on after all these years?
Yeah. Well, as a conversation we were just having before we got on the air, you stay grounded by staying true to the hood and staying visible and, allowing people to have access to you, vice versa situation. Back in Houston, I'm from Fifth Ward, and, I built my grandmother's house right in the center of Fifth Ward, and I'm there every week, you know what I mean, where people have access to me. I build a recreation center,
I heard about that.
in my hood as well. So, when you stay rooted and keep balance,
Right.
then you love and respect it for that.
And all the new artists that's coming out, they come and tap in with you just to make sure, they doing everything right.
I would tap in with J.Prince just for the game.
Oh
though.
yeah, definitely.
I feel like spending a day with J.Prince would be so knowledgeable, and you wouldn't even know it, though. Just normal day-to-day conversations. It's just about how you move, and I think that's something that a lot of artists forget in this industry. Your head gets so big that you forget, like, these are real people you're dealing with, and you need these relationships and how
Right.
to move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, fools despise wisdom.
Yeah.
Anybody that's not foolish and, like wisdom, knowledge, and understanding will feel the same way.
Yeah.
Because I'm everything but, I ain't got no bunch of foolish talk for them, but some finesse and wisdom. Yeah, that's the reason I wrote my book.
Finesse. And what's the name of the book?
The Art and Science of Respect.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Art and Science and Respect. So you're really, really you're big on the respect factor. So being that, do you think the industry has as much respect for the next man as it did back when you were running things? And
Well, I mean, I think respect is something that's diminishing right now, today. You know what I mean? I think it's even in a word, every generation going to get wiser but weaker, meaning we're going to have access to more things like we do with social media is concerned. But I think the value and the respect is definitely diminishing.
right.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Do you think that artists spend too much time on social media? Because they see a lot of artists getting into trouble because of their antics on social media.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something that need to be balanced. And I've been, everywhere I've been traveling, I've been telling them to replace that IG with OG.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep some balance there. Tap into your OG, a real one,
Yeah.
Right.
to replace that IG.
Yeah. Soak up this game
Yeah.
because IG ain't gonna get you paid.
So well, it can now, kind of.
Yeah, it's balanced with it.
Yeah.
I've just tapped into IG, so I ain't mad at IG.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a place for IG as well,
Yeah.
but IG can't really speak. No, it can't talk to you.
Well, talking about your book, was it hard for you because you pretty much told your story before Rap a Lot and then what came after that, and basically how you got to where you are? Was it hard for you to put your story in a book for everyone to read? Like, because not everything in there is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, certain places was tough to travel back to. You know what I mean? One in particular, I lost my sister
Right.
when I was 11 years old, and I had to go back to the projects, that very house, the last night we spent together,
Yeah.
and that place looked totally different than the way I thought it looked. It was much smaller,
Right.
and to sit there and kind of reminisce and feel that energy that was floating around took me back. And I didn't even realize I still had like emotions and stuff where that was concerned. So I had to do a lot of storytelling and different things where loved ones I lost. To try and paint a picture and a portrait, for people to understand that, that was a part of my story as well. 'Cause a lot of people want my glory without knowing my story.
Right.
It was some dark scenes in my story.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what's going on today in general. It's like everybody sees Instagram and how people are living on Instagram. You get what I'm saying? But they don't know what came before you got to that
Yeah.
level that you're at.
Right.
You
The
get what I'm saying?
sacrifices and different things that go along with it.
Yeah.
I had opportunity to really share a lot of that in my book, and it's a good thing. I've been having a lot of fun, marketing and promoting it because of the people,
Yeah.
guys coming up to me that say, I ain't never read a book in my life, but
I
I'm
read
finna
yours.
read. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of energy that's going around, and it's been a beautiful journey, man.
Yeah.
The book is called The Art of and Science of Respect, and you actually put this book out on your own.
Yeah. Well, just like in the music game, I attempted to deal with other publishers, and they offered me kibbles and bits, the same way they did when I tried to start my independent music movement, and just like then, even more so since I blazed a trail with that independent game, and it was funny because it was the same thing, almost like the same playing field, and I wasn't gonna accept it then, and I wasn't about to accept it now.
Right.
So I ended up self-publishing the book. The book is in like 50% of the stores and different things, but yet it still is in the top 10. You know what I mean? This book is now all the publishers chasing me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean? They
Made a
trying to offer
mistake.
me an imprint deal and everything. So same
Same
what they
hustle.
say, different toilet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you talk about an issue you had with Don King at one
Yeah.
point in time.
Yeah.
How did that affect how you do business, and how did that affect you as a person? Because Don King was.
Yeah. Don King, I mean, I come from not only Don King, when I stepped in the boxing world, all the powers that be, I had to introduce myself.
Right.
And Don King was one because of a fighter that I managed right here, James Page.
Yeah. Oh.
From the Bay Area. James Page was getting the short end of a stick, and I decided to go in and help Page.
Right.
And I was able to really get Page paid, and King didn't like it, and he decided to file a $20 million lawsuit against me, which, we went to court. I beat him, and the headlines read, the prince that thrones the king.
Oh.
So my stock shot up after that.
Man.
You should
Yeah,
make a book called that next.
yeah,
That'd be dope.
So you won the lawsuit.
yeah.
The fighter ended up switching sides and fighting with Don King after that.
Yeah, yeah. After we won, Paige, got beat in that fight against Six Head Lewis. And then, during trial time, to my surprise, the very man I fought and got paid for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
King had done some things to convince him to come and, try to, and I hate that, you know what I mean? I hate that because that story didn't end well for my brother.
For Paige.
Yeah. But I'm okay with Paige today. I'm all right with King today. You know what I mean? That's the past, and we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's a lesson for loyalty, which I think a lot of kids don't have right now. You know what I mean? Because for me, I'm kind of like, if you rock with me, you go hard for me, I'm never going to turn my back on you. You know what I mean? I stick with my day ones. My
Right.
brother, known him since I was 10. You know what I mean?
Well, that's real talk.
So-
I actually have a chapter in my book called Heart, Loyalty, and Commitment. And that's what I build my team around, heart, loyalty, and commitment. You should read that.
I will.
Yeah.
It sounds like you got some pretty incredible stories
Yeah.
in this book that you're going to be telling.
Yeah. No, they're real stories that, I won with. And that's the beauty of it. This ain't something that was just made up and just put out there. These are recipes that brought me riches.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was able to figure out how to turn nothing into something by using these recipes.
So are you going to be telling stories about times you took losses?
Oh yeah, they in there too. I mean, it ain't, hey, without no rain, the grass won't grow. You know what I mean? So a lot of time losses are wins.
Right.
It all depends on how you view it.
Yeah.
So my losses end up, inspiring me and motivating me and position me to win.
Right.
It was a part of the journey.
It's ironic that you were talking about that because you're so tied to the Bay Area. You said you have family out here and you manage boxers who were from here. How did you link up with Andre Ward?
Yeah, I wrote about that in the book. Andre Ward was trained by Virgil Hunter, still is, to this day. And, I reached out to Virgil, and Virgil told me, he said, hey, brother, if you help me with this kid, this was before Andre was pro. He was an amateur. If you help me with this kid, he'll win us a gold medal. And I had opportunity to fly Andre Ward out to Houston, Texas, put him in the ring with grown men. He beat him up.
As a kid?
As a kid. I mean, as an amateur.
Yeah.
Took him out to Roy Jones, you know what I mean, because that was one of his favorite fighters. And he beat up every sparring partner in Roy Jones' camp.
Wow.
So I was sold at that point. I'm
Right,
like, okay,
right.
Let me get with this brother and have a real conversation. And he and I did. And I must say, he was one that was always loyal. You know what I mean? Andre didn't do like James Page. You know what I mean? He had a word, I had a word, and, he retired with me.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say because, maybe it's a Bay Area thing or from that era because me and Andre, unfortunately, are from around the same age. We kind of raised like that.
Yeah.
Where you
beautiful.
stick with your day ones. You take care of those who took care of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's real.
do you see the young rappers, do you feel like that's what's missing from, the youngsters coming in the rap game now? Because it's so easy to,
Go with somebody else.
yeah.
After somebody like you would help them get on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I think I wouldn't say all of them. I think it's some stand-up guys, even, where the youth is concerned. It's a few turncoats, but not all of them.
Right.
Yeah, there's still some real ones around. You just have to tap into them and identify them, and vice versa. Yeah.
So you're into the book right now, but I'm sure Shay would love to see the J.Prince movie.
Yeah.
How soon can we expect that? If we can even expect it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Either a movie or a documentary series. You know what I mean? Because
Docuseries?
it may be 3 hours may not be enough time for my movie.
Yeah, that's
You know
real.
what I mean? So I've been really having conversations with a lot of people all last week, this week, few months. I mean, that's gonna take place
That would be dope.
real soon.
Especially with Netflix being up the street. We need that to happen. They got
Yeah.
so many dope hip hop documentaries on there. We got to have the JPrince up there next.
Yeah. Yeah, many are called, few are chosen. Mine are chosen.
Yo, JPrince has like bars. Why did you never rap? I know you were like thinking about singing when you were a kid, but like,
Well, I spit a rap. I'm on Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me, the last one. Yeah.
You didn't want to pursue that?
No, that wasn't me. You know, that wasn't my gift. So I definitely believe in whoever got the gift, supporting them with their gift. You know, I enjoy back in the music game being a quiet storm. You know, I like to work from the back, and you know, I tell people I ain't never talked so much in my life. You know.
Oh, you have to win the book.
Yeah.
With Courtesy Call.
Oh, courtesy call.
I was shocked. And I also laughed because it was one of the realest tracks that people would put out. You know what I mean? Because it's basically, I'm just going to let you know, and this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like, what made you want to put that out?
Well, I'm like this, and I've been this way all my life. I believe everybody is due a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or warning or something before destruction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my courtesy call thing was a way of, you know, it really was a way of showing respect by letting one know, okay, you're on my feet. This ain't gonna be pretty. Don't, you know what I mean? This is me. I'm
Yeah.
here. So, and from there, you know, a man can do what he want to do, you know. But, yeah, I just wanted to let it be known. And that's all I ever done on Ghetto Boys intros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I shared with the streets,
Gang
you know,
them
what
up.
was coming, what was happening. This is how, you know, the Master P's, the Cash Moneys, the Tony Drapers, this is what inspired them to become who they became. You know, they was listening. So the same thing. I just wanted all the guys that I mentioned on Courtesy Call to know I'm with Drake.
Like, that's family.
Are you still looking for new talent for
Yeah.
you to put your hands on and bring them up?
Well, I mean, my sons are more involved with the new talent thing more so than I am, but I'm always looking. You know, we just done a deal with YBN, Amir, Almighty J, Corday, all of those. You know, we partners with them. A lot of people don't know.
That's dope.
But, yeah, and I think they the future. So we in there.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, you keeping Houston alive, man, and really putting on for him, bro. That's big.
Oh, yeah. No, I wanna keep every hood around the world alive. You know?
Keep
I
inspiring.
love all of them, yeah. I want to be that inspiration, motivation to ghettos all around the world. That's why I named the group the Ghetto Boys. I want to be a voice in every ghetto around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it difficult for you making that transition from the streets to trying to go the corporate and the clean money route?
Yeah, one of the toughest decisions that I made in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was real difficult, you know, that transition. I wrote about it in the book, you know, because that's a transition that so many have lost their lives and freedom over because they wasn't able to make that transition. So, and that's because it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's really not. But, yeah, I was able to do it. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be able to sit here right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's ironic, though, because you made that transition during a time where the dope game and the drug game was so popping.
Yeah.
Or to make that jump and say, you know what, I'm going to do this instead. That's
Yeah.
like, you saw the future.
Yeah, and it was it had a lot to do with my spirituality as well. You know what I mean? Because my whole journey, you know, I had a prayer every night. I would say, Lord, before you take my life or my freedom, give me a sign.
Yeah.
So I was really offering the signs my whole journey, you know, and I didn't ignore signs. And, you know, when he convicted my heart and said, okay, this is that sign you've been asking me for,
Right.
you know, I was obedient.
Yeah.
Have you, once you made the transition and you started trying to get out the streets and get your life back on the right path, was there ever a point where you were saying to yourself, this is too much, I got to go back?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the temptation, you know, the devil real, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it took me 7 years before I saw a prophet A lot of people don't know, you know, when you go in this entertainment game, you be thinking 1-2 years you're gonna be rich.
Right, right.
You know, it was 7 years of sacrificing, and you know, I went from way up here to rock bottom.
By choice at that.
Yeah, by choice. So it was, you know, man, it was real spiritual, man. That's all I had to like keep me strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I understood where I was, and I even talked to God about where I wanted to be, and that was with plenty of money. And that ain't look like that was happening, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So all I had was faith to hold on to and exercise, and you know, I done that, man, and I got blessed beyond my expectations. Yeah.
I also think that it has a lot also to do with just how you carry yourself and how you treat other people. Like that, I feel like it gives you longevity and has an influence on your life.
Oh, yeah.
But a part of that I wanted to ask you, how were you able to maintain relationships when rap beefs were at their peak? For instance, when Tupac and Biggie were beefing hard. Like, I know you were cool with both of them.
Yeah.
How was that era?
That was an interesting era because, you know, I was asked to mediate that whole thing right there, and I couldn't because I'm the type of person I don't want to. If I can't sit at the table with clarity, clean hands with a situation, then you know I can't speak.
Yeah.
And under that, where that situation was concerned, it was I couldn't really get the clarity that I wanted. You know what I mean? It was too many unanswered questions. So, you know, it's hard for me to take that position under anything other than realness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I couldn't.
Do you regret not getting in the middle of that?
Well, actually, this was after Pac was already gone.
Yeah.
This was more so with Suge and Puff. You know what I mean? Before then, no, it wasn't an invitation extended to me. Now, before Biggie got knocked off,
Yeah.
you know, I heard that he was in L.A. and I went to Puffy and, you know, pretty much told him, hey, man, I wouldn't be out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? This not a good place for you to be. Definitely under these circumstances because, you know, my ears was to the street and I know L.A. pretty well. You know what I mean? Just like I know Oakland pretty well. And, you know, you don't want to be in them places if you're not wanted. And, you know, yeah, that was the case. And shortly after, didn't end well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But knowing that, well, I guess it was afterwards, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, with Pac, I was 1 week away from going to, I was trying to get Pac myself.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? But Suge, you know, he beat me to the punch on that one. And, yeah, that's the way that went.
You and Suge relationship was always maintained. Y'all been cool this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, from a distance.
Yeah.
You know, I don't never consider myself just being super cool with Suge. You know what I mean? From a distance, you know, he was cool
Some
or
mutual
whatnot.
respect.
Yeah. But, you know, I hate to hear what had happened to him
Yeah.
Yeah.
the other day, you know what I mean? All that time, because that's almost like a life sentence he got.
We got
Yeah.
28?
Yeah.
Yeah.
28 years?
And I don't believe in kicking no man while he down,
Right.
you know. But,
That could have been anybody.
yeah.
What I did want to ask you also is you had a long time relationship with Kanye. And with you guys having that relationship and what has transpired over the last year, how was that for you? Because that feels like it'd be a difficult position to be in where you're cool with the other side of it, but your people's, basically somebody who's like your son, has some real issues. Like, I know you basically squashed that whole beef and were like, you know, we're not doing this, but like, how difficult of a decision was that for you?
It wasn't that difficult for me. I knew Kanye from a distance as well. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I didn't have like a close relationship with him for years. Kanye used to come out there to Houston and work with Mike Dean, my producer out there. So, you know, I would see him passing. But, you know, it wasn't a difficult situation for me to, you know, to speak up because, you know, being from the Tupac and Biggie era and observing, you know, what happened, You know what I mean? When you keep pouring gas on situations like that, then, only a fool want to see that repeat itself.
Right.
And, Drake is in a whole different system with a whole different team around him than that situation back in the day. And, anybody with good sense, would speak up. And that happened to be me. So, I spoke up, and that's the way that went.
Which is dope, because I feel like it needed somebody with respect to actually kill that noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that you had mentioned the other day, because he came back and said Kanye wasn't the actual person who leaked that information.
Yeah.
But you felt like he was still speaking on Drake and his child.
Yeah, I mean, I understood what he was doing the other day. It's a damage control thing, because he's down with Kanye, and anything that looked like is bad for Kanye is going to be bad for him. That's where his livelihood is tied into. So, he wanted to say that whether it was true or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like I told my pal, lips will say anything. You know what I mean? And I understand, all the things that they say. But it is what it is. We done moved on to bigger things.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep that money flowing. Keep it business. But I did want to ask you, though, just as somebody also who has respect for the streets, respect for the hoods, and really tries to uplift his people, when you see somebody like Kanye with the history that he has, saying things like, I love Trump, and wearing MAGA hats, and going down the path that he's been going down for the last 2 years, but then talking about running for president in 2020. Like, what you know what I mean? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, Trump made it for president, so anybody probably can make it for president. You know what I mean? I didn't think the guy was going to make it. But, from observing Kanye the other day, the strongest thing that I left with was, the freedom that he was advocating for Larry Hoover. You know what I mean? That meant more to me than everything else he said, the rest of his life. That was as strong as I had ever saw him be to make a statement like that, because, I feel like there has been a strong discrimination going on where people that have been convicted of drugs and less violent crimes getting that extraordinary time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all of us, if we think about it, is, have a family member that has, a victim of, that crazy time and different things that the system gives. And, it has been shown that it's racially motivated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even from the crack and the powder.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's unquestionable. And for him to, allow that to come out his mouth, that meant a lot to me. And that's why I made the statement. I like to talk with Trump about that as well.
Right.
Yo, if I see you sit down with Trump, I'm sorry, I'm going to be glued. Like, please keep it 100 with him. Now, you guys have a major political campaign going on where you have Beto O'Rourke trying to beat out, what's his name? Ted Cruz. Sorry, I didn't want to say his name because I don't like him. Do you pay attention to politics at all, or do you follow what's going on, especially when it happens for the state of Texas?
Yeah, I definitely pay attention, and I'm kind of aware of what's taking place where that's concerned. Who you want to win?
I want Beto, just because I feel like Texas needs a change. I know it's a red state, but I feel like it's the era of change right now.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to change as well. It'd be hard for me to believe a lot of them when they speak, because a lot of times they yes don't mean yes, they no don't mean no. But if I had to vote for anybody for president, I would wish Congresswoman Maxine Waters would run for president.
Really?
Yeah, she's a soldierette.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not one to play with. She's quick and she's sharp with her tongue.
Yeah.
Marc is like, who is Maxine Waters?
Yeah, I don't get involved with politics, man. It's just too much. I feel like they always lying to me from either side. So it's like, you know what?
Have you ever thought about running for office?
No, I hadn't thought that far.
Really?
That's a lot of thinking.
I feel like it's something that you should do, especially how you take care of your city. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people. You got your own day.
Yeah.
Seriously.
They gave me 2 days. Isn't that something? I got 2 days now. Yeah.
Who else can say that? You know?
I'm just saying, but it would be good to have somebody who speaks the real and really not necessarily concerned with politics and
Maybe
just want to be honest.
Mayor of Houston.
Something.
Start off with that.
Yeah.
Look at this. You know, I'm just saying.
You writing books, man.
Yeah.
It starts.
You never know. You know what I mean? You never know.
Well, you know what? I'm excited. I can't wait to actually read your book because I know there's so many gems in there, and I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver it to me. So
Yeah.
don't judge me. You know,
Oh,
you said your book.
good. Oh, good.
The Art and Science of Respect. Any last words you want to say to the Bay Area?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to going to the Uprising Youth Center over there today.
Nice.
Yeah, Youth Uprising. Man, it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you, inspiring kids even in the Bay. That's dope.
For sure.
Well, it was a pleasure, man. We appreciate you coming through.
Girl, Shay, Diddy, DJ Black, Marc. We got J.Prince in the building. It's 106
Oh, yeah.
KMEL.